Kesho nitapata wapi majibu ya maswali? Mahindi lienda wapi? Pia shilingi ya shule za msingi. Paulo mtume, mbona jela usimtume? Lazima abuniwe tume. Lazima abuniwe tume. Mapenzi ndizo hali mabasa tulificha kwa kabati. Kazi kwa vijana, pesa kwa wazee. Tulimangamanga mpaka za maded aise. Lazima abuniwe tume. Lazima abuniwe tume. Oh. Sheria. Oh. Sheria. Sheria. Fuata. Sheria. Sheria. Oh, oh. Sheria. Yeah, yeah. Fuata. Sheria. 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 Oh, oh. Fuata. Sheria. Sheria. Pia wewe mwananchi, tabia zako ziko chini. Unapenda kulipa hongo na kutumia njia za uongo. Una mipango na hata watoto wa kando. Haujui hata majina yao. Kura yako uliuza maini figo, ukakulia hadi dini. Kisha wasema tukuthamini, na wewe hapo hauaminiki. Na wewe hapo haupangiki.
Wapi kidero when you need to slap somebody? Complain ufisadi kwani ulidhani t-shirt 50 bob leso siku ya campaign ilikuwa free? Ni 5 year loan investment utalipa kingia parliament. We are one, amani we are one. Na utumishi kwa wote, utu missing CCTV we were watching. Racial insecurity na job opportunity ni kama mti ya kibiriti. Side moja heavy. Usiniambie Kenya kuna umaskini, kwani hizi fat fingers zinaibia nane? Maskando ina threaten our survival. Media define leadership, na sura ukiaka front page na improve readership. Ambia wase wa Twitter wa hashtag hii ama hash reality doesn't make a good TT. Commission of inquiry wanakula commission bila kutupa ukweli. Ni kubaya baka kukiwa kuzuri, unashindwa nini mbaya? Machozi ya perpetrator ineza dilute damu ya victim ilimwagika. After all is said and done, all will be said, nothing will be done. You're not my tribe, but you're my blood type. Like it doesn't have to take tragedy to know that.
Sheria.
Good evening. Is it evening? No, but it's evening somewhere. Just the same way it's 5 p.m. somewhere. If you need a reason to take that tequila shot, but why am I in a good mood? I'll tell you why. Or maybe I just won't tell you why, but I'm in a very, very good mood. And I don't know. How do you tell your time? Because I've got a very beautiful watch on my hands. But anyway, I'm in studio, so you can't see me. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. How are you? We had Elijah Mose together with DJ CJ, who are here a short while ago with The Gift of Gab. I hope you liked that show. I really enjoyed it myself. Karibuni sana. This is Sheria Dive right here on Power Radio with me, Mr. James WaNjeri. Wakili time. Remember, in this show, we discuss legal issues and we talk about matters that make a difference for your life. And today, we're talking about alternative justice systems. What is that? Don't worry. This is that show where we simplify everything legal. So you don't have to scratch your head or, go crazy trying to understand exactly what you're talking about. But of course, this week has been raining heavily, right? And Nairobi's drainage solution is evaporation. In case you didn't know, now you know. We wait for it to evaporate. So the sun is out today. It doesn't even look like it has rained this week. And today the sun is really hot. But like I always say, that is an opportunity for you to go for that swim, for you to get that sundress, for you to get those shots, and to just hit the streets. Go out, feel that sun on your back, on your body. You need that vitamin D, But if in the house, I don't know what you're doing. Why don't you let me know in the comment section where you are listening and watching from and what you're doing, and I can give you a shout out here. And of course, remember, you can also request some music if you'd like that. Today, because we're talking about alternative justice systems, we're going to be talking about some things that are homegrown solutions. So for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be getting our featured artist of the day is someone who you probably did not expect to hear on this show. I don't know what this guy is saying in his music, so I'm going to try and listen in. And if this is your language, manze unisaidia hapo kwa comment section. I need to know what is being said so that I can raise that. But of course, this guy is a legend. You know him. You've heard of him. These are the things. These are my things. These are the fundamentals. Yes, we're talking about Ken Maria himself. Hey, Ando Kambane. That's all I can say. Man, I don't know, my best friend is called Musioka. And I Kamba zero, man. Say, millennials tukona shida. I think these languages are going to die with us. But so, Mungu atusaidie sana. Anyway, our featured artist is Mr. Ken Maria. Ken is a Kamba musician. He's done some songs, mostly in Kamba. And he's been there for as long as I can remember. He used to have dreadlocks, which he shaved. Now he has a bald head. Can you imagine that? Hey, it's like DJ Mose. Nakumbuka DJ Mose alikuwa na dread zimehang hivi manze. As in, akigeuka suddenly zinaweza anguka. But luckily akaenda akazinyoa. That's just the way it is. So ladies and gentlemen, join me as we kick off our show with Mr. Ken Maria. Here is song number 1.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Najivunia kuwa Mwafrika mwana. Najivunia mila na lugha za kikwetu. Najivunia kuwa mwanaume Mwafrika. Najivunia wanawake wetu warembo. Najivunia kuwa Mwafrika. Najivunia kuwa Mwafrika. Maumbile, kimichezo, kimapenzi sisi ni tosha. Maumbile, kimichezo, kimapenzi sisi ni tosha. Najivunia kuwa Mwafrika mwana. Najivunia mila na lugha za kikwetu. Najivunia kuwa mwanaume Mwafrika. Najivunia wanawake wetu warembo. Najivunia kuwa Mwafrika. Najivunia kuwa Mwafrika. Mito na milima mikubwa, hewa nzuri, mbuga za wanyama, mito na milima mikubwa. Tujivunia kuwa Waafrika wana. Tujivunia mila na lugha za kikwetu. twajivunia kuwa wanaume wa Afrika, twajivunia wanawake wetu warembo, twajivunia kuwa Waafrika, twajivunia kuwa Waafrika. Utamaduni, akili nyingi, kimasomo sisi ni tosha. Utamaduni, akili nyingi, kimasomo sisi ni tosha. Twajivunia kuwa Waafrika wana, twajivunia mila na lugha za kikwetu, twajivunia kuwa wanaume wa Afrika, twajivunia wanawake wetu warembo, twajivunia kuwa Waafrika, twajivunia kuwa Waafrika.
Ken wa Maria ndio huyo. Like the Kamba song, the guy has to talk. The guy has to talk when the music is still playing. Tunatuma salamu kwa Flozi. Jirani ya Flozi anashindwa kuzima radio usiku wa manane. Tuma salamu huko Kitui. Why is this instrumental necessary? Just maliza wimbo bwana. Ai. Ken wa Maria. My God. That's Ken wa Maria and it's a beautiful song there. Najivunia kuwa mwanaume wa Kiafrika. Wacha niwaambie kitu moja. Part of what colonization did for us is a lot of us grow up with self-hate. You know, you hate yourself as a black person. You look down on yourself. Sometimes you hear the things people say about, the things Kenyans say about fellow Kenyans, or the things black people are saying about fellow black people. And you wonder, how is that possible? How can you be so negative about your own race and about your own people? But unfortunately, that's the reality. For some reason, it's like we've been taught that black is wrong. Hata shetani alikuanga mweusi manze. God damn. But you know what? We are God's children. Civilization started here. So we are the OGs. We are the originals. Okay? So, tunamwongana hapo na Mr. Ken wa Maria kusema najivunia kuwa mwanaume wa Kiafrika. Of course, one of the things that have been hard recently is being a man. You know? Being a man is hard. Ladies, oh, you have no idea. But that's a topic for another day. Now, song number 2. I think this one you like because you probably heard it before. This is Ken wa Maria.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
These are the things. These are my things. These are your things. These are the fundamentals. These are the things. These are my things. These are your things. These are the fundamentals. Hizi ni vitu, hizi ni zangu, hizi ni zako, hizi ni fundamentals. Hizi ni vitu, hizi ni zangu, hizi ni zako, hizi ni fundamentals. Hizi ni siendo, idhini siaku, idhini fundamentals, idhini siendo, idhini siakwa, idhini siaku, idhini fundamentals. Shine siakwa, shine siaku, shine fundamentals, shine ido. Shine siakwa, shine siaku, shine fundamentals.
Ken wa Maria.
Ama useni machozi, wewe waziona vipi hizi?
Na ndio masaa ya kutuma salamu.
Kaka Ken wa Maria, hizi ni fundamentals za kiukweli kabisa. Unazo zako, ninazo zangu, hivi ni vitu vyote ni fundamentals. Unazo zako, ninazo zangu, hivi ni vitu vyote ni fundamentals. Sind die Sachen, die sind meine, die sind deine, die sind die Fundamentals, die sind die Sachen, die sind meine, die sind deine, die sind die Fundamentals. Wie geht's Vienna? Wie geht's Cologne? Wie geht's Stuttgart? Wie geht's Berlin? Hussein Machozi.
Libi loko, oeza ya ngai, oeza ya yo, oeza ya fundamentals, oeza libi loko, oeza ya ngai, oeza ya yo, oeza ya fundamentals. Hapo mokonzi, tema na ngai. Magigi moko, magigika, magigiki, magi fundamental, magigiki moko, magigika, magigiki, magi fundamentals. Evine vinto, evine biane, evine biao, echine fundamentals, evine vinto, evine biane, evine biao, echine fundamentals.
Ken wa Maria. This is about the time I'd be sending those salamos to your people all the way back home pale wakiwa Western. Unauliza maswali kama bado kuku imezaa.
Vino vyanje, vino vyovyo.
Wamepanda miti na nyasi huko nyumbani ama bado?
Vino vyanje.
Ken wa Maria.
Vino vyovyo. Vino fundamentals. Mwana wanje malai.
What are these fundamentals? Kamba munisaidie bwana. What is a fundamental? Eh? You know, I used to think it was a dirty song, but we're told
fundamentals. No more fundamentals.
What are the fundamentals?
Show me your fundamentals.
Okay.
You know your fundamentals. I know my fundamentals. These are the fundamentals.
Show me
your fundamentals.
Ken wa Maria, ladies and gentlemen. That is Ken wa Maria right here with fundamentals. Now, of course, acha niwaambie lazima tu Ken wa Maria aendelee na yani ngoma lazima ikuwe 10 minutes. So I've actually had this explained to me, and apparently for Kambas, there's a point the music gets to where you almost get into a trance. Okay, that's why unasikinga guitar inafika point it just plays. So like if you actually go for like a live concert or maybe a Ken wa Maria concert, unaweza na watu na dance ni kama it's. Have you ever seen those videos of guys at rock concerts where they're just funny dancing? They just look lost. They look like they're high on something. This one for cows is that they are high on the music. Okay? That thing I hear, it's almost spiritual. Anyway, Fundamentals. That's Ken wa Maria with Fundamentals. That's one of the popular songs. And you're probably wondering, why am I talking in between the songs? We are respecting the culture. Mnasikia? We are respecting the culture. And that is a time to send those greetings. I'm looking out for your greetings. If you'd like to say anything, if you'd like to holler at anyone, that is the time to do that. Now, let's get song number 3 from our Mr. Ken Maria.
Kabindu twese nitosha chama zako tweke na mundu chama zako tweke na mundu nakula itwe nando nakula itwe nando na chama kitoke nando na chama kitoke nando nakai kabindu no mundu nakai kabindu no mundu tamundo nakei kalonzo tamundo nakei wabina tamundo nakei wabina tamundo nakei mudoka tamundo nakei mudoka tamundo Mrs. Mutinga tamundo Mrs. Mutinga tamundo maisei kabindu no mundo maisei kabindu no mundo wamalia na kwa tamundo wamalia na kwa tamundo naisei nyinga kunia mundo naisei nyinga kunia mundo 2021 nibe mundo 2021 nibe mundo chama zako tweke itano chama zako tweke itano nono ikabindu no mundo nono ikabindu no mundo kinenga nweno ando kibila kinenga nweno ando twike iyo nesa tatu yando twike iyo nesa tatu yando chama zako twike ne mundo chama zako twike ne mundo nono ikabindu no mundo nono ikabindu no mundo Joyata wanda pera saibu kai siname sana iko keni ewa Maria singlai apo sio weo aya Chama, Mama Tosha, sawa. Kalembe ndile, squad number 1 bagema sobe ya mama kabindu, baka ligego. Sawa ulinge andilinge gadase movese muno Moses Kanele, coach ya kwa wakarate DCI Training School South Sea. Jamaa we mogo meme toke lazima aumeta kizawa ya ula ngoma mundu wa jadija downtown ye sawa.
Yes. Hey. Sijui amesema nini but imenibamba. That's what you get with Keno Maria. Campus manze, Kaos, we need your help. We need your help to get to tell us what we're hearing here. But that is the authentic sound of Eastern Kenya, okay? Lower Eastern. I think tunaitanga Lower Eastern. Yes. That is Ken Omeré with song number 3. Let's get Ken Omeré's song number 4 as we come to the close of our featured artist of the day. Remember, we're talking about alternative justice systems. What exactly does this mean and what doesn't it mean? All right? Si shida zote zinananga kotini, by the way. But anyway, that's for later. For now, let's get song number 4.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Papa. Kitu najua walimwengu cha muhimu, akili nywele kila mtu ana zake. Ukitumia akili zako vizuri, hautapata shida kamwe ni wapashe. Kwa vile kazi siku hizi ni bahati, kwa vile kazi siku hizi ni bahati, ni bahati, ni bahati, siku hizi unatumia ujuzi wako. Hata ukisoma bila ujuzi maisha ngumu. Kama kweli hauna ujuzi wowote, ujue kwamba Mungu yuko, uombe. Tapata kazi hata kama ni chomelea, tapata kazi hata kama ni chomelea wadebe, chomelea wadebe, chomelea wadebe. Kazi ni kazi, bibi ashibe, kazi ni kazi, watoto washibe, kazi ni kazi, wazazi washibe, kazi ni kazi. Mchagua jembe, si mkulima, mchagua jembe, si mkulima, si mkulima, si mkulima, Wera, jobu, travay, arbeit, ist Arbeit. You should try many things before you make it. Never ever be choosy and never give up. Never ever be choosy and never give up. Never give up. Never give up. Wera, jobu, travay, arbeit, ist Arbeit. You should try many things before you make it. Never ever be choosy and never give up. Never ever be choosy and never give up. Yeah, yeah. Never give up. Yeah, yeah. Never give up. Yeah, yeah. Kenwa Maria Papa akikuambia kazi ni kazi, titi ni titi, wera ni wera, jobu ni jobu, travail travail, Arbeit ist Arbeit. Wawa wawa useni machozi bingwa kutoka Tanzania hapo Miguel Tibros Innocent Gateria sana pamoja na Musioka
Haki yao. Kenwa Maria. And I want you guys, wimbo niona mwasa ile itaisha. Otherwise, if you abandon yourself to Kenwa Maria, pole sana, you will keep going and going and going and you'll never stop. Alright? Finally, song number 5. Have you ever heard any of these songs? And I think cows who are listening to this and you're not really helping us, but you are doing us a great disservice. Nataka kuelewa. Apparently, I've heard Kenwa Maria sing some nasty songs. So I don't know, maybe we could be here. You know, we're bouncing along to the music now. The guy is just, you know. Anyway, what do I know?
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Kenwa Maria Papa Wawa, a main switch production. Wawa nimeacha baba na mama, nimeenda zangu mjini kutafuta mali na maisha. Nidiki tena ni huzuni, uwache ninawapenda, nitafute mali na maisha. Nimeacha baba na mama, nimeenda zangu mjini nitafuta mali na maisha. Nidiki tena ni huzuni, uwache ninawapenda, nitafute mali na maisha. Wawa Wawa nataraji mengi mabaya kwa ulimwengu wa sasa, nikisaka mali na maisha. Wazushi na matapeli, waizi na walanguzi, nikisaka mali na maisha. Nataraji mengi mabaya kwa ulimwengu wa sasa, nikisaka mali na maisha. Wazushi na matapeli, waizi na walanguzi, nikisaka mali na maisha. Wawa wazushi na matapeli, wawa mimi nina bidii, kipawa Mola kanipa, nitafute mali na maisha. Zabure na zabwerere, sitaki maisha ni mwangu, nikisaka mali na maisha. Na mimi nina bidii, kipawa Mola kanipa, nitafute mali na maisha. Zabure na zabwerere, sitaki maisha ni mwangu, nikisaka mali na maisha. Wawa Wawa I believe I'm able, anything I can do, 'cause I'm ready to hustle. Anywhere I can go, I don't care what they say. ready to hustle. Wow. Wow. Natafuta mali na maisha. Najua hilo sio kosa. Jamani hilo sio kosa. Niambieni wapi nitapata. Naomba mnielekeze. Natafuta mali na maisha. Najua hilo sio kosa. Jamani hilo sio kosa. Niambieni wapi nitapata. Naomba mnielekeze. Ken WaNjeri. Papa.
Higher. That is Ken WaNjeri for you. Well, I don't know what's your view on that. For me, to be honest, I've struggled to connect with that. But I mean, I get why some people enjoy that music. But Makul Kids manze, mlikuwa mshaanza kupanic, mnasema what's happening to the show? Oh, hey, you want to hear some? Yeah? Kuna mtu hapa amesema nataka kusikia bassline. Oi. Eh? Don't worry, I got you. When we come back, we start our conversation on alternative justice systems. What exactly is an alternative justice system, and how can you deploy this in the spaces that you're in? Remember, we're talking about disputes. When disputes arise, how are those disputes dealt with? And what does the law of Kenya actually provide on alternative ways that people can actually access justice? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Thank you very much for joining us on the show and for keeping it here. Let's get some music. Let me just try and bring you back to a bit of normalcy for the show. You know, the sort of music that we play here. And let's do a cleanse. Let's go.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Can you feel me give you steady heat? Can you feel me give you? Say, can you really feel it when I'm giving this? Some say that I am killing this, giving them a little treat, quenching in the summer heat. Utamu wa ukwaju iwe maji ya madafu ya burudisha kabarafu. Maisha tamu tamu, basi twende Lamu watamu, tupatana na hao tu wadao dao Kilifi pale Mandharini, patina noga pale mjini kaskazini, na tunakula hepi, warembo wana densi, vijana tukumedi, vibe iko steady, mziki iko deadly, mbogi iko ready kukupa vibe ukweli. Say, can you really feel it when I'm giving this? Some say that I am killing this, giving them a little treat, quenching in the summer heat. Utamu wa ukwaju iwe maji ya madafu ya burudisha kabarafu. Maisha tamu. Haya tusonge kwenye gari, debe gonge, mziki noge, sherehe itambe, down to Nyali, me and the man dem. Kidogo posted Indiani, sipping on some bubbly, movement wobbly wobbly, feeling funny. The drinks probably hit the spot and we staggering on the beach and we want to step. The jet skis revving, vibes on your head, babes in the back and she might get wet. Names rough right down, the waves are a mess. It's been a long ride, holiday true, me too, now my guys. Memories for life, high like the tide. But I catch a flight, then I'm back to the city and the grind. Say, can you really feel it when I'm giving this? What? Some say that I am killing this. Giving them a little treat. Quenching in the summer heat. Utamu wa ukwaju, iwe maji ya madafu, ya burudisha kabarafu. Maisha tamu. Say, can you really feel it when I'm giving this? Ooh. Some say that I am killing this. What? Giving them a little treat. Quenching in the summer heat. Utamu wa ukwaju, iwe maji ya madafu, ya burudisha kabarafu. Maisha tamu.
Maisha Tamu, that's Razorman. Of course, this is what you'd probably call underground music in the sense that you probably have never heard of Razorman. It's the first time we're actually playing Razorman here in studio. So Razorman out there, big ups to you for that music. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about alternative justice systems. Now, can I give you a shocking statistic? Only 10% of Kenyans with justice issues actually use the formal justice system, which means that tukisema the courts are clogged, they're only clogged with 10% of the disputes. So what happens to the 90%? And I want you to think about it this way. Think of yourself there in the plot. Wacha nianze na plot. Mimi nilikuwa msoa plot, so najua hizi vitu. Okay? Jamaa ameenda na amekaa kwa bafu sana na mmepanga line hapo nje, kila mtu na ndoo yake ama karai na maji. Okay? The guy is not exiting. That's a dispute that has been created. Who do you go to? Who do you help to address this? Now, one of the unfortunate things growing up was the amount of violence I would see. People who used to fight a lot in the 90s, I don't know why, but growing up, people were always fighting. And it wasn't just men and men alone. Men were fighting men. Men were fighting women. Women were fighting women. I mean, I remember every week or so, there'd just be women fighting each other. And when you ask around what happened, you hear aliniongelesha vibaya ama there's some guy involved. I grew up in a very violent, I think, a very violent society. Another thing I always wondered is, what is this that makes people feel like my issue cannot be dealt with? I have to actually go and physically attack someone. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to study law, because I figured surely there must be a way to deal with people's disputes, right? Without them having to resort to that. Because I would see, can I tell you guys something? One of the women who fought, she had just come from the salon and she had made her hair. And do you know what happened? The person she was fighting with, a fellow chick, beat her on the lip. Imagine a limuma kwa mdomo manze. Now she had blood all over. That's a wound that had taken a long time to heal. And she just come from the salon. I always remember that sight. I was a very small child, but I remember just looking at that. I'm like, oh no. Ladies and gentlemen, disputes are part of our lives, whether we like it or not. Hakuna watu wanakosanga disputes. We all have disputes. We have disputes in our families. There are families that don't talk to each other. You know, there's a common meme that I see around. When you go to that piece of land that inafanya watu kwenye wasiongeleshane. Have you seen that thing? There's an old shack somewhere. Kashamba kako 1/8 ama kakwota. Your father and his uncle and his brothers and sisters, they are not talking to each other because of that small shamba. Family disputes. And let me tell you guys, as a lawyer, I can tell you family disputes are some of the worst disputes in the world, because most times you find the people who are feuding with each other, they were all born by the same woman. You can imagine. And sometimes you even find even the parents are part of that beef that is happening. So how do you deal with those family disputes? Because there are people today, you've never met your cousins, you've never met your uncles, because there was just some beef somewhere and your parents or your family decided we are never going to that side. And of course, I know as well that there are also some members of the family that are just nasty people. You know, mtu anataka kuiba hiyo shamba. So they just start being nasty to you. There are people who try to disinherit widows. These things happen. We live in a society where might is right. So those people who feel like they have that strength or they have that advantage, they tend to want to lord it over others. They want to use that power to snatch things away from other people. And it's very, very unfortunate. But that's the reality of our lives. There will always be dispute. So where do these disputes go? Mi nakumbuka tukiishi kwa plot manze, kulikuwa na msee anazusha anasema uwezi anza kupika omena saa 4 usiku. And ladies and gentlemen, maybe nowadays we make omena nicely, but omena ya pale kwa plot bro, ikipikwa saa 4 there's a smell it unleashes. You are like, oh my god. People are asking what is a plot. So let me tell you the basic idea behind a plot. A plot is that now you have the slums, right? You have the slums where there's no order. There is no order in the slums. Okay? Just above the slums, you have the plots. Tuambiane ukweli. Sindio? And now basically the idea for a plot was you have houses that have been built in a row. Then at the very end of that row, you'd always have the toilets and the bathroom. So let's say from the gate, as you move in, you have the houses. Okay? So most probably it will be one room or at most 2 rooms. Okay? So that one room, you're going to have your hey, I know I'll probably talking to some cool kids who are like, yo, what are you talking about? Uko ni wapi? That one room has everything. It has a chair, it has a bed, it has a kitchen and everything. And those are the days we'd use stoves for cooking. Okay? So when you use a stove for cooking, kuzima hiyo stove after umaliza kupika, oh my god, it's another battle. So you'd have to throw water on it, but then it releases a pungent smell. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to take it outside on the corridor, uzimie huko. So you could imagine the smells that are just... So that's a plot. A plot is basically people who can afford that one room. There's a bathroom and a toilet at the very end of that. And then in the middle, there are hanging lines. There's no parking because no one is coming with a car there. At Uber. Uber gani? Hakuna Uber kwa plot. And those days no one do this. So the entire, what you'd call the entire corridor, you'd have hanging lines. So that's where people put their clothes. Now, people will start even fighting about the hanging lines because someone says, uliniona nikifua. Now unakuja kufua. And now we've run out of hanging lines. There are not enough hanging lines. And I would see these disputes as a small child and I'd be like, wow, very interesting. Then just above that, you now go to the houses where they were probably, made of concrete. They probably used stones, right? So, but pia hizo unapata the bathrooms were outside. Okay? So maybe it's a 2-room but ni ya mawe. And then maybe ni ya gorofa, okay? It has a few stories. So what would happen is you'd have the guy on the higher floor hangs their clothes after the guy on the lower floor has hung their clothes. Then that is the day the guy has a red t-shirt that keeps leaking. You know there are those shirts you have that just there's usually a word for it. They not bleeding. I'll remember the word for it. But there are clothes that just start losing the color. It gets into the water. That's why you're told don't mix whites with colors, okay? Because some of them the color bleeds out into the water. And you'd have a dispute there. Oh, and what about kukatiana? Oh my God. Kukatiana ilikuwa another dispute creator. Parents come and say, why is your son, mostly it was a son. Why is your son playing with my daughter? Inakuwa shida hapo bana kwa kijiji. So, the reality, once again, ladies and gentlemen, is that we will always have disputes. That's as long as human beings are on this earth, they will always have issues they don't agree on. And so alternative justice systems is grounded under Article 159 of the Constitution of Kenya, which says that the state will promote alternative means of dispute resolution, that not all cases will go to court. Not all matters will have to go to a police station. Okay? And what are some of these alternative dispute resolution methods? You have mediation, for instance. Okay? You have arbitration. You have all this, and we're going to be discussing that when we come back. But AJS, the difference between AJS and maybe when you talk about mediation and arbitration. Mediation and arbitration sometimes can be very structured. AJS, alternative justice systems, it comes right where the people are. It actually is a dispute resolution procedure that is provided for your context. Okay? And context is everything. We are Africans. Kuna mahali bado women are not allowed to sit when men are eating. We still have those cultures, right? When you get into that culture, You can't go and decide now you have come to solve the problem and you want to do things your way. You have to understand the context of that place, right? There are spaces where it's men who stand and women sit. You can't come and try and turn that upside down. There are spaces where if women are beefing, only a woman can resolve that dispute. And if men are beefing, only a man can resolve that. Our society has some of those things. There are disputes where you are told, in our culture, only the uncle can speak on behalf of the parent. You get? So if you come in, you want to force the parents to talk, then you go against that culture. So alternative justice systems is contextual. It first starts with where people are. Okay? So in the comeback, we're going to be talking about what are some of these alternative justice systems and who are some of the actors that are in these AJS systems, because you will be very surprised to learn that uko mashinani, people are dealing with their problems in very, very interesting ways. And those matters never, ever make it to courts eventually. And then also, I'll tell you, you remember we played Ken Maria and talking about cows. Cows have this thing where kuna kitu unaambiwa useme na uwezi enda kuongea uongo. I'm going to tell you about that when we come back. But remember, talking about alternative justice systems, have you experienced this? We'd just like to hear your thoughts on this. If this is something you've probably come across or it's something that you've experienced, do you support it? Would you like to know more about it? Please let us know. We'll be here.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Loki, skiza, twende, always on the move ni kujisakia, nikishamaliza mission naweza disappear, sina breaks labda tu nibadilishe gear, sidungi specs lakini vision bado ni clear, I've been the baddest tangu enzi za songa, utani confuse na bega vile daily naomba, kwa maisha joni mengi naona, nilifungwa bible nkisaka mapenzi kwa romance, underrated but style iko top, ama rapa wana flow kama pipe imeblock, una rhyme juu ya ops na DJ shika glock, na imani kwa God so ni ngumu ni flop, kila kitu nililose nisha gain, walifunga njia tukabadilisha lane, mi kumbuka times I was laughing through the pain, but cheki saa hivi vitu zimechange, ati bado sija decide kani luku nitabai ama nitasave ndo nishike ndai, ati bado sija decide niende left ama right, either way bado future iko bright, ati bado sija decide kani gin ama vodka nipate chini ya maji nimechill underwater, okay niko fiti my guy, songa na hiyo rhythm if you feeling my vibe, niko na kitu success bado sijakafunga, hawatoshi mboga mi bado nasaka unga, hizi heights wezi mesha hadi ukamna rula, ile knowledge niko nayo ningeipata sooner, this is the rise of greatness, I came from the bottom na sikai kwa basement, I did it on my own, na this die management, eri ni baki solo sina time ya fake friends, kila pali na go, wana daimindo goat, marapa wengi wana ladha wameishi wana soap, ukiwa underground option imebaki ni growth, untaka lyrics ama vibes mi nakuja na both, naifanya saisi later, all I needed to be great was a pen and paper, kulidi revolution ilibidi ni step up, katenje haina moto ilibidi ni take, bado sija decide kani luku nitabai ama nitasave ndo nishike ndai, ati bado sija decide niende left ama right, either way bado future iko bright, ati bado sija decide kani gin ama vodka nipate chini ya maji nimechill underwater, okay niko fiti my guy, songa na hiyo rhythm if you feeling my vibe ati.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about alternative justice systems in Kenya. Now, you're probably asking, what exactly are these alternative justice systems? One of the things, beautiful things about this country is, if you actually go and Google alternative justice systems Kenya, some of the links you're going to see are going to open up to the judiciary website, okay? We actually have our website that specifically deals with matters of AJS, alternative justice systems, but also is to understand what exactly alternative justice systems are couched in. Like, what is that about? Where are we putting this AJS, and what are some of the ways that are provided? Now, remember I started by saying the idea behind AJS is that we all want to have justice, isn't it? Now, alternative justice systems, number one, are based on human rights pillars. And some of these human rights pillars are, number one, the duty to protect. The person who is handling the dispute, you have a duty to protect the parties that are before you, and especially the victims. Secondly, there's a duty to respect each other, a duty to respect the unique context that you are in, the duty to respect even the person that stands in that place of trying to resolve the dispute. And most importantly, there's a duty to transform, because justice has the power to actually transform societies. Now, you cannot have alternative justice systems if we are not looking for justice. So that has to be the one thing. But what type of justice exactly are we looking for? Okay? We are looking for justice that corrects everything that stands in the way of love. And that sounds probably like something you expect to hear in a love letter somewhere. But this is what we mean. At the end of the day, for our communities, the idea is, how do we foster love in our communities? How do we foster oneness in our communities? Pale kwa plot, watu wamekosania hiyo hanging line. How do we resolve that so that people can continue to be good neighbors towards one another? Okay? So, power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice. That's power. Love implementing the demands of justice. And justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands in the way of love. Whatever stands in the way of love, power has to correct that. Now, in Kenya, we have this idea of justice. Now, when you think of justice, the people who will probably say, vengeance, an eye for an eye. Sindio? That's what people sometimes are asking for. However, in Kenya, we practice what we call restorative justice. What is restorative justice? Restorative justice says, yes, this person has done the thing they have done. Yes, there has been a break here in the society. Yes, there have been actions that have been committed here. However, this person is still a member of the community. We still want them in the community. We have to find a way to bring them into the community. At the end of the day, all justice must have that at the back of its mind. Restorative justice is rooted in reconciliation. Restorative justice is about reconciliation. How do we bring people together? Because sometimes the problem with our understanding of justice, especially when you talk about things like vengeance, you revenge, but you've not actually reconciled the people. One person has felt, yes, what has been done, I'm happy with it. But the other person, well, now they think, no, it was unfair to me. So for alternative justice systems, the idea always is, how can we achieve reconciliation? And you can't achieve reconciliation if you're not pursuing restoration. How do you restore relationships? Now, something very interesting was said by the current Chief Justice, Justice Martha Koome, and she said this: justice belongs to all of us. Justice cuts across all our lives. We need to play our constitutional mandate to ensure that we deliver justice for the people and the people themselves become agents for their own justice. When everybody bears the responsibility for justice, from individuals to institutions, we promote resolution, and we actually know we need to resolve our disputes before even we go to court. And I don't think I could have said it better than that. So, what are we talking about when we talk about alternative justice systems? Here, we're discussing the organic and non-state mechanisms. Now, sounds like a very big term, but non-state mechanism means the state is not involved. There are no police, there are no judges, there are no chiefs, nothing. It's a citizen-led process, okay? And these are the norms, okay? These are the customs. These are the social and the legal systems which govern the activities and lives of individuals from birth to death. Okay? We have our own cultures. There's a way we deal with things. One of the dangers of colonialism was that we were told everything you guys used to do, useless, rusha kando. And one of the things we are now doing is we are actually going back and saying, no, our societies worked. There was something about our societies. Do you know we didn't have prisons in Kenyan societies? We never needed them to exist because Kenyan society was always about reconciliation, and people will be banished. Where sasa umekuwa wewe umesumbua watu sana, enda ukiendanga. Even murder today, which we treat and we say people must get the death penalty. In Kenyan societies, even murderers had a way to actually atone for what they had done with the aim of bringing the communities back together. Okay? So when we talk about alternative justice systems, we're talking about these things that they are at the heart of us as a people. This is the way we do things. These are the customs we've had. These are some of the practices we've had. And those practices must not be harmful. Okay? Now, these practices or these ways of dealing with matters, they must be applied and enforced by the people themselves in their own communities. So alternative justice systems is the idea that if people are beefing in that space there where you are in Isiolo, you should be able to bring these two people together and help them to find justice. And it has to be justice that is agreeable to both of them. You understand? So it is actually led by people within their communities. And the important thing to remember is that we are not talking about using judges, we're not talking about using police, we're not talking about using chiefs. We're talking about a people-led process, that people can own this process and drive that process themselves. Okay? Why is this important? Ladies and gentlemen, the idea is this. When we talk about access to justice, we are actually not talking about people accessing courts. No. That's not what access to justice means. Access to justice actually says that you want to enhance the quality of justice that people are receiving in the spaces where they are. That everyone has access to justice where they are. This has been done against me. What will be done for me? Or how will this issue be resolved in that space where that person is? Absent of that, there is no question of access to justice. Who are some of the partners? Who are some of the people that are empowered in our societies to actually help us deal with matters of justice in our communities? Going to be answering that question when we come back. Remember, if you have any questions about AJS, Alternative Justice Systems, this is probably the right time to answer that. We're going to be responding to that. But let's get some music. Let's go.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
In case you didn't know, that's where the uns comes from. Can you hear it? Uns, 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 uns. Yay! This is one of those very old songs we grew up listening to, but now remastered and done by one Mr. Mojo. Let's call him Mojo. Or is it Mojo? Fantastic DJ Mojo. Good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, talking about alternative justice systems, I listened to that beautiful music by Mojo. And who are the agents of alternative justice systems? Look around you, look around you, look around you, and then point at yourself. You are the agent of alternative justice systems. Now, justice is a universal language, ladies and gentlemen. We all know what justice looks like, and we know what injustice looks like. So you and I are actually empowered by the Constitution to be agents of justice, to be pathways through which justice can be delivered to people in our society. Okay? Now, how is this done? Remember, when you're resolving a dispute between two people, you're not a judge, you're not a police officer, you're not a chief. Okay? The rules that apply to them may not necessarily apply to you. You don't need to burden yourself with all those burdens that those people in those official positions have. But you have to remember that the idea is reconciliation. Is there a way to resolve the dispute, but in a way that brings the people together? But it also serves justice, because one of the sad things about Kenya is people are always told to forgive and forget, right? And I don't usually agree with that idea, because I don't think that idea is actually very accurate. Forgiving and forgetting is not what restorative justice means. Restorative justice actually is saying, forgive, know what was done, do not forget, okay? But accept this person because they have made a decision to take different actions, or they've shown they can change, or they're now ready to come back into society. So that's what you need to look at. Reconciliation is a key factor and in the key consideration when we're talking about alternative justice systems. Sawa? So, have we seen examples of this? You know that uncle of yours mwenye anaitanga watu wakikosana anawakalisha chini hapo anaongelesha. You know, the time my family was called because someone in my family was misbehaving, and I was told, you need to talk to this person. You need to sit them down. And I was like, oh my God, have I become those people now? Millennials, we've become those people now. You need to solve problems. You need to be able to solve problems for people. You need to be able to sit and listen and hear parties and make a decision. That education you received, you thought it was for free. We took you to school so that you can have your worldview widened, so that you can come and help us. So now, we're increasingly going to find ourselves being called to deal with some of those things. And the reality is this. Let me tell you, as a lawyer who goes to court, because I do a lot of litigation matters, right? The reality is, most of the disputes we have, they just need someone who can step into that space and talk to the people who are beefing. And that problem actually ends automatically. Many people do not give alternative justice systems a chance. Many people are quick to rush to court. And some of the most painful can especially be like family matters, where you are in court and you find a mother and the children are fighting, or a father and the children are fighting, or siblings are fighting each other. There's a case that has been in court. When it started in court, it was between, I think, two brothers. They died. Their kids took over the case. They died. Now the grandkids are fighting the fight of their... Just imagine that nonsense. That, I think, is nonsense, guys. Children should not be inheriting battles. They should be inheriting good things. But that's the reality of our country. So we have to give alternative justice systems a chance. And it's all about sitting down, allowing people to ventilate what it is they're going through, what it is that happened, and how it can be resolved. However, I have to warn you, not all cases can be dealt with through alternative justice systems. Sawa. When I come back, we're going to be talking about that. Talking about some of the cases that have been dealt with that way, and the court said yes. But what are some of the cases that cannot be dealt with in that manner and why? Hey, I love having you guys here and the music is just popping. Flozzy, drop it like it's hot.
Yeah. Wow. Need some. What we doing?
Damn, Katie, slow down.
Fanya vi boldly, fanya na chest. Wengi najua wanajua wako dead. Fanya vi boldly, fanya na chest. Wengi najua wanajua wako dead. Jumanji na text, call up the best, Hizo ni hot keys, line imejaza hell, Nilidai verses, sahi labda tu ni 2 verses. Wengi ni dead, basi na nido breath. Sauti ni thread, Italian best. Kauzi ni wewe, mbuzi ni menge. Nimedu marathon, sahi mina move in space. Wakitry block, nimesha check na nimesha left. Fanya vi boldly, fanya na chest. Wengi najua wanajua wako dead. Fanya vi boldly, fanya na chest. Wengi najua wanajua wako dead.
Loud ngori, buti ndani kwa jet. Ay, wife ya shaku upset. Ile mblengi likuja na set. Ay, bora nipate your check. Better sit there respect. Ay, bora nitapiga champagne na baadaye nikate hot cake. Ay, wow. So, nigga iseme na chest. Ay, mi nigga ukijia umsela na bado na geuza nigga the guest. Ay, wife wake ni chura na chukura ongeos na mgeuza 10. But, vile ongeos na bonga. Manunge dhani ni 10. But, mbona jifanya upset. Piga kinywaji upige reset. Actually pick the ngwelo instead. Au kidai chafua the nyed. Oh, shit nafanya na sweat. Hey, please don't put me on X. Hey, sijui nitafanya nini next. Budo kinifanya upset. Wow.
Fanya vi boldly, fanya na chest. Wengi najua wanajua wako dead. Fanya vi boldly, fanya na chest. Wengi najua wanajua wako dead.
Wengi najua DIE wako chini ya udongo. Mina live life on a regular fee. Huwezi nipata kwa soko kama haina hiyo logo. Mini mpiki, sidai on dogo. Big body group, this a truck, not a coupe. No fuck, no maikani sonko. Bold, I'm the capital letter. Call me a G, I'm moving, I'm on a vendetta. I'm with the dogs, call me Cruella. If I wanna chew, it's Chow Bella. Wanna chase clout, huwezi amount. I don't know what you expect. I want the total amount or you disappear. Like hold up the so unexpected.
Fanya vi boldly, fanya na chest. Wengi najua wanajua wako dead. Fanya vi boldly, fanya na chest. Wengi najua wanajua wako dead. Fanya vi boldly, fanya na chest. Wengi najua wanajua wako dead. Fanya vi boldly, fanya na chest. Wengi najua wanajua wako dead.
Is it Isam Gavi or Isam Guvi? Isam Gavi. There you go. Isam Gavi is bringing us to about 2:45 p.m. this beautiful, beautiful Saturday afternoon. We've almost done with this show, but ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about alternative justice systems. And we've said they can be used for a myriad of issues, family issues, commercial disputes, personal disputes, civil disputes. Guys, however, does this apply to everything? Now, in about, I think it was about 2013, a gentleman called Mohammed killed another person in northeastern Kenya. Let me not give too many details. But after he killed this guy, he was arrested by the police and taken to the police station. Then the families decided to meet. And because of the norms and the culture in that area, one of the things that could be done when you kill someone is you have to pay a fine, okay? You have to pay a fine to the deceased family. And for instance, if someone has children, you have to commit to take care of that child until they're an adult. So anyway, our Mr. Mohammed, his family reaches out to the other family. The elders sit, a few goats are shared and everything. And they say, okay, we've shaken hands over it. They go to court and they say, hii kesi tunataka iachiliwe, ni kesi ya murder. This guy murdered someone, but we'd like this case to be wachiliwad because tumeelewana. And so that matter then goes to the court, where the court now has to ask the question, can someone withdraw a case like that for murder? Can alternative justice systems, can extrajudicial means be used to deal with a question of murder? And in that case, the High Court was of the view that Article 159 of the Constitution of Kenya allows for what we call alternative dispute resolution. In this case, they had agreed. Together, the families had agreed. They had said what was going to be shared. They had been very clear about what was going to be given and all that. And so, because of that, we couldn't, no one could then come and say that the court cannot adopt this. So we have actually seen it in Kenya in cases of murder that has actually been allowed. And as a practicing lawyer, I'll tell you, many times I've been in court, unasikia mtu alitumia M-Pesa akakula. You've heard those stories? When that matter comes to court and the person says, I'm willing to pay this person back their money, the court will say, fine, pay them back their money. Even questions of assault. Remember, at the end of the day, the court has discretion to agree with some of these things. But to the extent that you have done, or you've paid back, or you've compensated the person, and the court and the complainant is saying, yes, I've been compensated, I'm happy to withdraw this, and the court is going to ask them, have you been threatened by anyone, are you under duress? And if they say no, then the courts more often than not will agree and say, your case tumeachilia. However, can this be done for cases of defilement? I'm going to allow that question to just sink. Where a child has been defiled by an adult, should alternative justice systems be used to resolve a matter like that? The position in Kenya is that no. Because, number one, of the nature of the victim. The victim is a child. Okay? It's not like if you have two adults, mtu alipigwa ngumi, they can speak at an equal level. Secondly, the court has noted that over time, people who molest children, they can easily try to use these alternative justice systems to avoid punishment. But then what ends up happening is that you have a sex pest that you've released into the society, and a person who can actually go and harm more children. Okay? But also, because of the family dynamics, did you know actually that majority of the people who sexually violate children are actually relatives? Okay? Now, because of that family dynamic, you'll often find that most times the victim and the victim's family can be bullied into withdrawing a case because it's a family matter. And the courts have held that for children who have actually been victims of abuse, their defender is the state. The court is the one to stand there to ensure that they get justice. Otherwise, families will just sit and shake hands, but that matter has not been dealt with. So, as of now, you can actually have an out of court for murder, but you cannot have it for cases of sexual violence, especially against children. But can you do it for sexual violence against adults? Can an adult who's been a victim of sexual violence come and say, I would like to withdraw this, I forgive this person, and this? To the best of my knowledge, no court has turned down such a request, especially when it's coming from an adult, and they can show that that person has not been influenced in any way to actually set aside that matter. So, who are the champions of alternative justice systems? It's you and I. We have to have an idea of what justice is. We have to be people who can step in and help our brothers and sisters in our community to access justice. Now, because our societies also recognize hierarchy, and they also recognize that there are special people within the society who also can step into that space, you'll often find that pastors are called. Pastor anaitwa hapo kwako, umepiga bibi, umesumbua bibi. And remember, violence is actually something that the court will say, no. Question of domestic violence, that one we are going to deal with you. But let's say you're just having a regular dispute with your spouse, for instance. the pastor, the sheikh, the religious leader, they can step into that space. Maybe there's a family dispute, they can step into that space and guide the parties towards reconciliation and justice. Okay? We also have the people we call waganga. You know, when you tell millennials of waganga, they think of Karumanzira. If you remember Tausi, those days, I was waganga, I was mabonoko. You know, but there are traditional people within our societies who can actually come and make people sit down and tell them, hey, kumenda japa, this is what needs to be done. Of course, family members can also be used to do this. Teachers as well. Teachers are highly regarded in our societies, and many times you'll find teachers are actually people who are able to guide families, able to guide children, able to guide parents and children, you know, to try and bring them together. Now, I'm not saying that AJS is being given to only these specific people. Even you, whatever it is that you do and wherever it is that you are, you actually have the power, you have the authority, you have the ability to provide alternative justice to people. But the idea is you must always remember, you can never force justice on people. It has to be a decision that people accept and people actually move to. You ever see Koti, you're not there to tell people what to do. Yours is to bring them together. And that's why love is a key consideration when you talk about alternative justice systems. The love that exists between people, the love that exists in society, that is always the main thing that we try to ensure that happens. And remember what we said, power at its best shows us that justice is anything that clears an obstacle to love. Okay? So that is the idea that that the AJS expect of us. So this can be done by you, it can be done where you are, it can be done in the community, it can be done in your home. Do not be in a hurry to go to court, especially over matters that can be easily resolved. Do not be in a hurry to actually go to court. Ladies and gentlemen, we're almost coming to the end of the show. It's about 2:54 right now. We end this show at 3 p.m. But also a reminder, we have this show happening on Monday between 5 and 6 p.m. So see you on Monday between 5 and 6 p.m. We're going to be talking about some changes that have been made in the government and how that affects you, especially as a creative. How do these changes affect you and what should you know moving forward? But for now, let's get some music and then when we come back, we're going to be wrapping it up. Let's go.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's about 2 minutes to the top of the hour. And this is how we're doing it. Hey! I don't know about you and where you are, but it's banging in studio. And what a beautiful way to end the show as we come to the end of this show. Thank you so much for giving us your time and for keeping us company. Hey! Tunapenda sana from Flozy and I in studio. This is Power Radio, Sheria right here on Power Radio. See you on Monday between 5 and 6 p.m. as we talk more legal. Hey! You better be planning to get out of the house. Looks like a beautiful afternoon for everybody. Now remember as well that we have shows all through the week. We have a breakfast show that comes every day, right? Yeah, every day. Monday, Wednesday and Friday. We're going to have Shivazations with Carol talking about the ladies and ladies' perspectives of the world. We also have DJ Moz together with DJ CJ. Moz Shako Bewele DJ Manze. And they come with a Gift of God, which is a hip-hop show that focuses on hip-hop in Kenya. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you know, every Friday between 4 and 6 p.m. we have Itel Groove right here with our very own Flo Z. Manze sibarikiwe sana. Have a lovely, lovely rest of the week. Rather the weekend. And I hope you have a nice fresh start to next week. January is over. Praise the Lord. January is over. Wishing you a blessed February. Happy new month. Ladies and gentlemen. Sturane mande manze. Tuko pamoja. Let's go.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
It's unbelievable that we made it this far. far. So beautiful, they gon' know who we are. They keep on walking in the rain. Good blessings in the pain. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady, ready, steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. To Zion, to Zion, to Zion. It's on our road to Zion. Nothing will ever deny us. Whatever it takes, keep on rocking. Whatever it takes, keep on moving. To Zion, to Zion, to Zion. Yeah, 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 yeah. Rocking on the midnight train. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh, Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. To Zion, to Zion, to Zion, to Zion. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. To Zion, to Zion.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.